Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the American Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the T32a or the T32a Prototype. Now this is quite an old Tier 8 Premium now. I think this was released quite a while ago, and these two games have been in the bank of replays for a little while as well. I meant to show this quite a while ago and I just never did, and I've just seen it in my list of folders and I was like, oh, T32a. Forgot about that tank. I need to show this one off. And yeah, what is it? Well, if you've not seen the T32a about before, and to be fair, there's not that many of them about these days. There used to be quite a few, but not anymore. And you might be looking at it going, well, it's a T32 with the autoloader. That means it must be great, right? Well, yes and no. It's an okay premium tank. It's not brilliant. Again, it sits in there. It's not brilliant, but it's not bad. It's not the quickest. It's not got the one strength that the T32 has, right? You think of the T32, you think American Tier 8 heavy tank. You think American Tier 8 heavy tank that can sit hull down and laugh at everybody because the turret is just that good. Well, on the T32a, it's not quite that way. You actually have the stock turret on the T32a. The stock turret of the T32 is garbage. It's like 100mm thick. It's terrible. It just gets penned all the time. And it's not something you should rely on. If one of these goes hull down and gets into a position like what I'm in now to shoot this Tiger 2, you should just aim at this tank's turret, shoot straight through it, and you will pen it most of the time. I say as I go and bounce 2 shots. Great timing, that replay, great timing. So yeah, so you don't want to rely on it because it doesn't always work. And that being said, getting hull down in this tank is obviously something you still might want to do just to limit the options of shots for the enemies to have at you. It's got a 3-shot autoloader for the 320 Alpha. It has got that top gun. It's got like 218 pen because that got buffed a little while ago, and 260 something premium pen, which is solid. That's more than enough you'll ever need. It's great that they buffed it from the 192 it was to 218 on the AP, which is great with the T32. That was lovely. And the APCR, like I say, the APCR is great for facing tier 10s. That's just enough to pen pretty much all of them, and it's really useful. So you see there, we do get pen straight through the turret, and the big problem with getting pen through the turret on this tank is that you do end up having a damage gun quite often. That can be a little bit frustrating with this tank, which is maybe the armour perk is quite good to use. I'm not too sure. I know I just use my standard loadout for a heavy tank, which is the usual suspects of perks, plus all the gun handling perks and the armour angling one, with running vents, optics and vert stabs, because you want to make the gun better, because the accuracy on this gun isn't the best, and even with the accuracy perks of the crew skills it can be a little bit derpy, so you might want to think about just making it better. So what's happened in this game? Well, this game has basically gone quite badly. It's cliff, and yeah, basically me and 3 other tanks went up to the top, and most of their team went up north. So what's happened is that most of my team has actually camped on the 1-2 line and has basically not done very much, and their team has just completely stomped our northern area of the map. So what I did is realise that immediately, as soon as it went badly, I had to get out. So I just knew that I had to duck into this cover here, or down into the lower bit, and get away from the enemy guns. So I've ducked down, I've got into this position here. I know I've got this rock on my left hand side, and this rock on my left hand side will protect me for the most part from the people that go to the 4, 5, 6 area on the F line. And I want to stay with this position here because then I can try and keep hull down. Like I was saying, the turret isn't the best, right? But if I'm hull down, I'm limiting the amount of shots that the people actually have at me, and that is key. So we're just going to keep popping up here and trying to get shots. I want to shut down this Barask. Fortunately enough for me, he manages to give us a position to shoot at him. Then there's this VK3601H, I should say, on my right. We popped the last 2 shells we've got in. Unfortunately, we nearly have a physics moment there and slip off our protected rock. But we're just waiting for the reload to go in. Is it the reload? nowadays, especially with 6.0, right, isn't too bad. The one thing that was annoying about this tank, well, the two things combined really, was the low pen, the no turret armor whatsoever, and just the gun being a little bit derpy because it was like 0.38 accuracy. Obviously 6.0 makes it so that reload's slightly better, the gun's not that derpy, and even now you could probably fit speed equipment on this thing and probably make it go closer to 40, which would probably make it feel nice, but I feel like having the optics and maybe the vents just to improve the accuracy and the aim time and the view range and all that sort of stuff is probably more handy. So we didn't quite finish that T32 there, T29 off there with this clip, and I just got that final shot into the Cromwell. Unfortunately low rolled a little bit to not kill him, but now we're just reloading our next clip. And unfortunately, there's now tanks behind us that have come through the 1-2, so I can't use this position that I was in anymore. I've got this Indian Panzer in front of me, and we're just going to plough our clip through him, and unfortunately we don't pen the first one. We don't quite get a shot at the second one there, and we've just got one shell left in the clip, and we're in a really bad position right now. This is not going to go well, because we're getting shot from everywhere. They've basically taken everywhere on the map. We're boosting our reload with food. I'm trying to get one more clip out. That's all I want. I want one more clip, one or two more pens generally, and we're just praying beyond all hope really. I'm using this little lip here to try and stay hull down. I pop up here to get a shot at the Baltic. Unfortunately the first one misses, and then we get shut down by the T29 from above, and that was really unfortunate, but there was not much we could do there because that's just what happens on cliffs sometimes when teams really do stick to the 1-2. We tried our best there to get all the clips out that we could, but unfortunately that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But we finished that game with 2 kills, 5.4k damage, 1400 assist, ace tanker, high caliber, sniper medal, 1238 base XP on a loss, and that was actually my second mark. This game was actually before the last game, the next game, whichever way around that goes, that's saying. That last game was before this, was after this game. Oh, we'll get there in the end, alright, it happens. So this game was a little bit before the game you've just seen. Obviously, that was the second mark. We've still got the first mark here, and you can tell we're still relatively early on in 6.0, because the map is still in the top left. We've still got different indicators for the autoloader, shell mechanic, whatever you want to call it. And there's no names above the tanks with no HP bar, that sort of thing. But like I say, that's just the way it goes sometimes with my replays, is that I'll have a load of replays and I'll think, oh, I want to show this off, I want to show that off, and then there'll be something new comes out, and then something like these two replays that in the T32a just sort of get padded down in the list. And I saw it in the folders, and I was like, you know, it's a nice tank. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It's just a tank that I kind of want to show off. I had some decent games in it, and it sums up the tank perfectly, really. So we're on the second game, and we're on Kaunas, and I'm going to go to a position that I do like to take up on this map, and that is this little position here, because this little position here, I can get up and get shots at people that cross along the K line. But I'm deciding to push quite aggressively. We get one shot into the Draugen there. There is still the T54E2, which is the unskinned Sergeant Slaughter, which is a dangerous tank over there. We managed to get 2 tanks slammed straight in. Unfortunately, he gets a shot into me, but we got rid of most of his health, which is nice. This Draugen's YOLOing. We're just waiting for the reload to go in. That's the reload's not the longest in the universe. So you see, we're not like sitting around waiting, twiddling our thumbs or as much, say if we were in a tank like the T77 for instance, but the reload is actually comparable to the Sergeant Slaughter, but we've got 3 shells for 320 each instead of, you know, 3 shells for 360. Now we managed to make sure there that that shell's going into that Draugen. We wanted to make sure that the shells were going to hit and get rid of him, or make sure that we could get rid of him next time we get a clip in. And we're in an awkward position again right here, because we're hiding around this corner, but there is tanks down the south, and in that position that we were just there, yeah, it's not the best position because you can get shot from it. So what I want to do is try and get up behind this Draugen. I want to get rid of this guy and hopefully get towards where the heavy tanks are in the D5 area, so that we can like get rid of them, help our team defend that flank, because most of our team is on the other flank where we've just left. We kind of don't want them to come, these heavy tanks come round and envelop behind us, because then they'll start getting shots in our ass, and it's not pleasant, I'm telling you. So we've got 2 shells left in the clip. We're coming across this stockade and this defender. My plan is probably thinking, you know what, I need to get rid of the stockade, but the stockade drives fully around the corner, and I'm not getting that guy, so I dropped the final 2 shells auto-aimed into the defender, and we're just going to pull back and try and boost our reload with the food to be able to get the clip in as quick as possible to get rid of these guys. Because, I mean, the possibility is now that I could get rid of the defender and the stockade, but the stockade got killed by our heavies, and the defender, rather than coming to me, gets just YOLOs towards Swindle and the other guys and gets shut down. Now, we managed to spot that charioteer as he fired at us. Unfortunately, we missed our shot, snapped in on him. I'm just pulling back here because I'm just being a little bit more careful. I don't want to lose too much unnecessary health. We get 1 into the M103, we're unspotted, so we take the chance to aim the second and get the shot in, and he's now on 583 health. I'm just waiting for a reload again. Artillery shuts down the M103, and I'm just trying to stay safe. I'm just waiting for the reload before I decide to make a full move or anything like that. Now we're unspotted and the reload's close to finishing. Now I want to go and move in towards the town, because obviously there's stuff in the town, but there's also TDs that we know are on the ridge, and we spot a diamondback just as we're going. The charioteer pops a shot into us. We manage to hit him on the move, and we get a second shot on the move into him, which is nice. 6.0 accuracy in a nutshell. And now we've moved to this next rock formation, this next line of cover. We're just waiting for the reload to go in again on the tank. Because that is what the main thing is with autoloaders. You should always be thinking, where do I want to get that next clip of damage off? And I don't want to move too soon before I'm reloaded, because otherwise I'll start moving into the line of fire before I'm even ready to deal damage, which is obviously not what you want. Now, unfortunately, we didn't quite get the shell into the diamondback before he got shut down by artillery, but we do manage to get the final 2 shells into the charioteer to shut him down. And again, boosting the food with the reload with food. Oh my goodness me, we're tripping over our words left, right and centre today. So that we can get the reload in again, and I'm thinking I could possibly farm up the damage on this IS-3. I'm thinking, should I go for him or should I go for the TDs in the town? Because we know there's 2 TDs in the town. And I make the decision of, let's go for this IS-3. Is that the right decision to go for? I'm not too sure. I feel like I'm probably creating the death sentence for the rest of my game here, going for this IS-3, because all of the rest of the damage is in the town and is at G89, right? So I'm taking myself to the furthest corner away from them. But maybe I'll get some shots into the IS-3 here to shut him down. We get some slim shots into the back. We actually set him on fire, and unfortunately artillery just takes the kill. But now we're on the reload, because we're not going to get to those guys before we're reloaded, so we may as well make sure we've got a full clip to attack these guys with. And now we're just on the move to go into the town. And yeah, I mean, as you've seen, the T32a's reload isn't too bad. The intra-clip reload on this tank is really nice. It means you ship out damage very, very quickly, which is always good. It's not like the 5100 or 5120. The French autoloaders where it's like a 3-second intra-clip. All the Swedish ones, like the Emil 2 is a 3.3 second intra-clip. Or the HMH 58, and it's like you pop a shot in and you sit there for a bit waiting for the intra-clip to go. And it's always nice to have a faster intra-clip like this, or like the machine/TVP, you know, where it's 1.5 second, 1.7 seconds, where once you've fired one, you're going to be able to drop the clip in dead quick and get away, and therefore you're not hanging around as much to lose as much health. And that's one thing the T32a has, in the fact that the fast intra clip of 2 seconds, I think it is very nice. It's just like the Sergeant Slaughter in that regard, in that you can drop a clip pretty quickly within 6 seconds, or you can drop all 3 within 4 seconds, really, from the firing that first shell, and you can then try and get away or get behind a ridgeline. But we finished that game with 2 kills, 4.2k damage, 1370 assisted, so that's 5.5k combined, ace tanker. Like I say, this was before the last game you saw, so that's actually still in the first mark. 1885 base XP and a really nice game for the T32a, which is a pretty solidly nice tank. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success!